Okay, what's going on, everyone? I want you to look at this comparison. This is Lovebirds fight in the Paradise Lost incursion. One is the DPS and one is the skill. I'm showing you how this looks from the healer's perspective with Scorpio, the St. Elmo's engine, and finally, Ouroboros SMG. Now, before you get defensive, all I'm trying to do is provide certified methods that can be used to beat the Lovebirds more efficiently. Clearly, this method is completely viable. And this was only our first run, so imagine how better or more efficient we could make this happen. I already have a few ideas. Because we were using a method with the chatterbox to increase the fire rate, this is how we were able to stack so much damage so fast. Now obviously, the position I took is the skill method. It's clearly more effective. And in my previous video where the full run was showcased, I got a few comments saying that even on the Lovebirds, the DPS version is superior. I think that people just feel like builds are better than others without even bothering to compare, but when putting them into perspective like this, you get a much more clear picture. But here's why I take the skills perspective. Even though the Ouroboros hits the hardest from amongst the weapons, there's so many more variables to take into account when using weapons, the DPS approach. You have to reload, you have to activate Sledgehammer, sometimes you get caught on fire by Martinez, which throws off your ADS. All of these scenarios take a little bit of time away from damage you could otherwise be dealing. I think DPS is more difficult to pull off, and honestly it's really refreshing to know that we have a legit alternative within the skills perspective. When using the Oxidizer, there is literally zero downtime on damage once all the clouds are stacked on the ground. Let me just break this down so you can understand fully exactly why this is so strong. First of all, we're using Technician Specialization. This is huge because both the Specialization and Oxidizer deal extra damage to skill proxies. This means that it'll be easier to destroy the kid, and whenever Johnson drops his heal box, it almost immediately gets destroyed. I didn't even see it. Next, we use the Chatterbox because after reloading when enemies are within your vicinity, 15 meters, you get a rate of fire buff. That buff also applies to your skills. This is perfect because as soon as Martinez throws the shock trap, each one of them count as an enemy. So after reloading, you're able to fire those Oxidizer chems so fast, meaning the damage applies even faster. At this point, it's only a matter of time before they expire. And it's really insane because you really don't need Sledgehammer. You really don't need Opportunistic. The damage is so much that you don't even have time to shoot or even throw mini grenades. By that time, the Lovebirds are done for. So there are many reasons to use this method. The only issue I see is destroying the kid, which maybe really isn't even an issue. I mean, we did destroy it one time in one phase, so it's definitely doable. And mind you, this was only our first time running it using this strategy. I suggest you guys put your minds together and figure out the best way to run the incursion this way, because I know it will be beneficial to the community. I knew that I had to do this skill build incursion run because I figured no one else would even try it. The results were astonishing, better than I imagined they'd be. It's literally insane. I personally believe that this method can be used to speedrun the incursion if played right, because not only was the Lovebirds really crazy, but the right encounter was impressive as well. You can actually get an entire damage phase after dousing him. And get this. Most of our capacitor assault rifles weren't even expertise that much. The highest level of expertise for mine is level 7. I can't really speak for the others, but the consensus I got was that they don't really use skill builds in this way that much. But just imagine the damage if players would actually spec into this. But I'm not here to talk about the right encounter. I'll go into that in a separate video and release the build for it I used as well. Anyways, let me know what you think of this video. Is the skill version effective enough for you to use as an alternative method for defeating the Lovebirds? Please share your thoughts below. And if you'd like to see the exact build I use for this, then here you go. Drop a like and subscribe to my channel. I'd appreciate it. I'll see you in the next one. Be right out.
What? Why are you swinging at me? We have 2 ads on stage.
Alright. Nice, bro.